a little, the PowerPoint is big, it's long, but we're gonna go through quickly and then show the part that we wanted and give it a time for Bethany that she can present. Yes, I did it on. First, we have a few groups from here. I'm gonna ask the two of them, and you can stand up. They was part of our group, along us, and Jim is not here. That was the people who came from this church to the trip in Ecuador. Yes, the mic. Thank you. Much better. You hear me now?
Oh, much better.
Much better? Oh, thank you. My family say yes. Okay. The people who stand up was the part of the group from this church to go to Ecuador. I want to have a PowerPoint presentation. It's going to be long, but it's not. We're going to go just as you see the picture. And we're going to divide it between Judy and Lydia. Let's do the first. Let's start. The first is FEDICE. What is FEDICE? This is since that we went to Ecuador, we went to do a daycare, construction in the daycare. And that daycare benefits 40 kids from 1 year to 3 years. And the reasons, they have the wall, you see, the left, and the humid. It's a liquid there. That was the reason that we did it. Next. You see it? The floor was very muggy. They don't have the division in the enough room in the space. And that is the 4 problems that they have. You see the picture. And this is the solution that they asked to us. This is the one that they present to us, what cost the project was $4,000. And we put some money, we say we, the church, put some money, and they put some other, the government put a little money, and we do the project together. This is what we call Minga. Minga is you put something, they put something, and we together do something. Okay? And you see, the parents of the daycare was working in the construction too. Everybody was working. The moms, if they have a kids or not, they was working there. The elders and everybody. They start that project before we go there. And then we arrive. This is the group that we have. And you see, the first thing that they do, everything is prayer. All the tools that we're going to use, they never do anything before do the prayer. And you see that. This is the kids on the daycare, the constructions. And you see people there working. Do you recognize face? When we put windows in the rooms, we painted. You see the stairs. And everybody, this is from here, from Oregon. And you see the work. Everybody was working, painting and repair. This is the big structure. You see that it's gorgeous, but it really was in bad condition. And then we celebrate after the constructions. You see the kids? You remember my face there? I was with the kids on the floor, and they celebrate, and they give it to us, a hat and a scarf. And look at this is the final project. Then when we finish, look, we buy the tables and we buy the chairs. And this is what, look at, and we celebrate. That was the construction part. Why I say that? Because the people are thinking that when we go to do mission trips, we only do construction. But it's not that true.
Pamela Dye and I also volunteered to work with the children during the time that the construction was happening. We avoided some of the hard work that way, and we got to associate with the children. Now, we all met the children because we were asked to leave our stuff in one of the upstairs rooms. So every morning when we arrived, we went up there and we were greeted with the children in the upstairs room. Buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias. And we were shaking hands with each and every one of them. They were taught to shake hands with us as we arrived and to greet us. So on Tuesday and Thursday morning, Pamela and I worked with the children. Pamela has experience with daycare children, and she had wonderful ideas about projects and things to do and games to play. And of course, Bernice was involved too, because Pamela and I don't speak Spanish. So we had a lovely time with the children working on projects and getting to know them, and they got to know us a little bit. And if you notice the children during this time, they have plastic tables and chairs. That picture that Bernice showed you at the end, they had lovely tables and chairs to sit in, and that was part of our donation at the end. We didn't even see those. Those arrived after we had completed our project and gone. We also went to visit the daycare center in Calaqui, this is the Violent Vaca Center that was dedicated to Violet, who began the project years and years ago. And it's a lovely facility. It would be something you could see anywhere in the United States any day. It was just gorgeous. And they were very, very happy to see us and to show us around. And the children sang for us and marched for us and treated us to a little display of their abilities.
We do the Bible study, but I show you the songs that we are singing today was part of the Bible study. And we do craft, and we have at the other station was music, craft, and play and games. And we have 80 kids. And we was how many? 10 people? I don't think we have 10. But we have a good time. And this is Glenn and Marilyn. They are the Global Ministry volunteer that they are living there. How long? 8 years. 8 years? 5 years. Also, beside the constructions and daycare and Bible study, we do worship. We visit worship church during the Sundays. That is, we have Bihar and we have Tokagon. We visit 2 different churches, and I preached that day. Yeah, somebody said, yeah. And the big part for me was we presented the Bible to Blanca. Blanca was a partner with us for many years, and she never had a Bible. And the Bible this church, we bring a lot of Bibles there, and we give it Bibles to Bihar Church and Tokagon Church, and give it one to Blanca. But it's a good thing to bring Bibles. We're thinking that they don't need it, they are desperate to have Bible. And then, you can have.
Yeah, so here at P Hall, we celebrated, this was our second Sunday, and they also treated us to lunch, and for many of us that we got to taste the local delicacy of what's that animal?
Guinea pig.
The guinea pig, yeah. Okay, the guinea pig, sorry. And all in all, we had a really wonderful time. This is more of the presentations. The people down in the lower corner rode the bus for 5 hours to come and present to Doug some embroidery of the local area. This is the area that had the volcano eruption, and we were worried that they were going to miss us because we were just there at lunchtime, but they made it, thank goodness. But a 5-hour bus ride and a 5-hour bus ride back. Here we're celebrating, I think that's the birthdays, we had birthdays, and they brought in a band, and we danced. And here now we're putting together the packages for the earthquake victims on the coast. And here are all of the bags of the survival kit things that we put together with personal supplies and basic things for what you would need immediately. Here in Otavalo, well, we headed out, and when we're sitting at the table here, we went to a place that made local ice cream, and we saw the man. He had just a copper bowl, and sitting in ice, and he stirred it until it froze to make the ice cream. And now we're at the market in Otavalo. Yes, our favorite place. We got to go there twice and spend our money and enjoy the local things. And as you see, I have a local blouse on, like that I bought in the marketplace there. And here we got to go on our next to last day out to the last day out to the lake, and went out on a boat. And then over in the corner, there are a number of us who are on inner tubes that have motors in them, and so they were like bumper cars, only they were bumper inner tubes. And here we're at the workshop where the lady is showing us. She actually made one of the pan flutes, a small one, right before our eyes, and that she measured the reeds and cut them and put it together. And then she also, in the top picture, she's playing a really big one. She was a fantastic musician too. It really get the sound out. And here we're at Sebastian's new enterprise. At the top pictures you can see there these cone-shaped rental houses that he's hoping that people are going to come down and rent. And it's a beautiful, beautiful valley and a lake and mountains, and you can go mountain biking and hiking. It would be a great place to go. And now we're at the center of the world, back just outside of Quito, before we went to the airport to come home. And but celebrating being at the center of the world. But we worked hard, we played hard, and we have much to celebrate from our time in Ecuador.
I put this picture because it's very special for us. When we visit FEDICE office, in that office have that picture, and you recognize that is Marta and Sai cooked with Victor Baca and Blanca. I put it because maybe for some other people it doesn't have any meanings, but for us it's very special that we are there in the office for many, many years. I don't know where Sai is here, I didn't see. Oh, you are in the office, Sai. And that is the thank you from them. I do want this very short because I want to introduce now Bethany. And Bethany is from Global Ministries. She was in Ecuador for a year or more. Year and a half. The first time that I be there, she was there in Ecuador. And we spent a lot of time. She's going to do a presentation too about Ecuador and explain more in detail what all that you see. She can explain better.
And she's from Eugene First Christian
Right.
Church. She's
So,
ours.
yeah. Yeah, I grew up in Eugene. Like Brittany said, my name is Bethany Waggoner. I've been in, for the past almost 3 years, in Global Ministries' Global Mission Intern Program. So I was in Ecuador for a year and a half with FEDICE, and then I moved to Chile, and I was with a different partner called Fundación EPES, which is Popular Education and Health. So I'm going to focus on Ecuador today because y'all have a relationship with them, and we've got the presentation as well. I wanted to start with a video that talks a little bit about another community where FEDICE works called Busir, which is an Afro-Ecuadoriano community. And it goes into some details about the programs that they do on a daily basis. So you have the trips with groups, but FEDICE is also working every day in 10 to 13 communities around the Andes Mountains in Ecuador. So we made a little video, and hope you guys enjoy it.
Dicen que el pueblo de Pusir se fundó, o sea, fue fundado por los jesuitas. Este pueblo era lleno de algodón y la gente le trajeron. Cuando ellos vinieron, les trajeron, ¿no?, como esclavos a la gente, pero no aquí realmente en este pueblo. Y de ahí se fueron repatriando toda la gente, unos para otros, o sea, por donde que podían esconderse. Se repartieron los terrenos, en los cuales, pero no había agua, una sequía total. Había mucha pobreza, demasiada pobreza.
Es dura la vida de aquí. Es dura porque no tenemos los recursos necesarios para trabajar, para mantenernos. Y diariamente tenemos que luchar para tener de qué sobrevivir.
O sea, fue una iniciativa del señor economista Hugo Pacheco. Y me dijo, doña Berlis, no quiere formar un grupo de unas 20 mujeres, tengo unos $6,000 para que trabaje. Yo le dije, aquí es imposible, o sea, medio difícil trabajar con las mujeres, ya que no me siento capaz de trabajar con esas mujeres, pero después vino otra vez el señor economista, me dice, doña Berlis, hay que aprovechar estas oportunidades.
Entramos a un grupo que se hizo, que se armó con FEDICE. En FEDICE nos enseñaron a ser mujeres unidas, responsables para salir adelante. Nos apoyaron con un monto, ese monto sirvió para criar gallinas, para sembrar, con eso estamos saliendo adelante.
Las cualidades que tiene el grupo son que nos unieron a muchas mujeres que andábamos divididas, a hoy somos compañeras y trabajamos juntos.
De aquí a futuro yo le vería, pues sí, le descubriría como así, con unas mejores calles, dejado un poco al lado la basura, como usted mira así en el campo. Quisiera que hubieran fuentes de trabajo para los jóvenes que vienen renaciendo. La gente de Pusir, lo que deberíamos de hacer es unirnos, hacer una masa enorme, pero esa masa sea fuerte y no se derroque, para que Dios nos dé las fuerzas que necesitamos para ser así, como usted me dice, grandes.
Porque es en que ahorita nuestro país es plurinacional, ¿no? Debemos tomarnos todos de las manos para poder caminar, blancos, negros, indígenas y todos unidos, niños y jóvenes y los de los adultos mayores, caminar todos y así podemos salir adelante.
I'm not sure if I have enough pipe cleaners. I've been working on a big bag, and this is the end of the bag, and there are a lot of you here, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna pass them out and do a little activity, and hopefully there's enough. If there's not, I'm sorry. Couples can share. Pass a couple of those there too. Okay. And if you're on the end and you get a bunch, if you can pass them back to some people who might not have them, that would be great. What we're going to do with our pipe cleaners is we're going to each think of a talent that we have, something positive about ourselves that we bring to the table in a project or a challenge in our life. So, for example, let's say you consider yourself to be a good listener. You could shape your pipe cleaner into an ear. If you have a big heart, you're a compassionate person, you could make a heart. So you're going to take the pipe cleaner and shape it into a representation of that talent. And it doesn't need to be extremely artistic. We're going to explain it to each other, and there's no awards for like the most accurate ear. So just do your best, no pressure. I'll give you about a minute, so kind of try and think quickly, we'll get the brain flowing. And then we will turn to our neighbors and share with them what our pipe cleaner is and what talent we bring to the table. Whenever y'all and your neighbors are ready, go for it. Go ahead and start sharing. Okay. We can start wrapping up our stories. I can tell y'all are having fun. So, this is a little icebreaker activity that I learned in Chile, but I think it does a really nice job of explaining multiple things. One, it just gets everyone talking, and it gets you getting to know each other, enjoying your community. Community is one of Global Ministries' core values, and I want to talk a little bit today about community and about mutuality or equity, because FEDICE's groups, the associations that they form, aren't just a credit association. You know, when y'all give an offering to fund a project in Romerios for chickens, it's not just a transactional business arrangement that we're supporting. FEDICE goes in, and as you saw, they help form an association. The leadership is local, so they are building community. They are giving training not only in how to care for animals or grow onions or do embroidery, but in accounting and in computing and in leadership. And so they bring everyone into the room, and as Blanca will say often, everybody has a part to play, and they must be allowed to play their part. So this activity, the point of this activity, is to show that we all have a talent. We all have something special. And in lots of parts of the world, especially for women, being asked what your talent is, what value you bring to a community or a group, is revolutionary. Nobody asks those things of women in many parts of the world. I would say even here sometimes, women can feel like our talents are not appreciated or valued at the table. But we have them, and we must be allowed to bring them to the table. We must have a voice and a vote at the table. And that's what these associations that FEDICE forms do. They give people a voice, they give people a vote and ownership in and agency in bettering their future within the context that they live. So these little pipe cleaners are a reminder that we are endowed with the fruits of the Spirit, that we are all a part of the body of Christ, and that we all have something to put into the world. We've just got to find that spot where we can lock our talent in and put it to work. So that's what I wanted to share with you all, and I will be around for questions. There's also materials from Global Ministries at the back table where the pamphlets for today's service were. And I want to thank you so much for having me and supporting me through my 3 years in Global Ministries' Global Mission Intern Program.